One last time from Buffalo, it's the panel brought to you by Sport Chek. Tom Gazzola alongside Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels of the Oilers Radio Network. Guys, yesterday after the first round concluded, we talked about, hey, the Oilers have 8 picks heading into Saturday. We could see some movement there. We didn't see any movement in terms of roster players and picks. They go and pick 8 guys, 4D, 4 forwards, and a goalie. What do we make of what happened today?
Well, there weren't a lot of deals to be had, not just for the Edmonton Oilers. I didn't necessarily think the Oilers would use all 3 of their third-round picks, but when they stepped up and made them, I wasn't necessarily that surprised that all 3 of them were defensemen. Some real size added on the back end as well, a goaltending prospect. So, Bob, you had a volume of picks, and the Oilers elected to restock the coffers in 2 areas where they needed to do so, and that's in goal and that's on defense.
Well, I'm more confident in terms of what the Oilers did this year than maybe back in 2014. They took some later round, for rounds 4 through 7 in that draft year. There were some, players that were 19 and 20 years of age. The fact is, they did have 4 picks between the second and the third round. Look, Tyler Benson, love it. This is a player that could have easily have gone 10 through 20 had he stayed healthy this year and put up some numbers, albeit in a team that's had some struggles in Vancouver. Love that pick. Marcus Niemelainen, there's another guy that some people
top 40 pick.
Yeah, consensus across the board. So, one of those situations where they get a guy in a positional need, get some chance to develop, but beyond that, really, in fairness, our level of expertise relative to what the scouts, it's completely limited. So we're kind of going by what they did, but the base of their overall work certainly makes a lot of sense.
Did they miss out on a goaltender? I know they took Dylan Wells. His numbers maybe weren't that great, but he had a good Ivan Hlinka, as was pointed out. We talked about Carter Hart maybe being there as one of the picks. Do we feel like they missed out on goalies?
Well, not necessarily. Carter Hart ended up going 49 to Philadelphia. Yeah. And I thought the only chance there for the Oilers was to maybe package 2 of those, 3 third-round picks and move up into a spot, but I'm not sure that would have gotten them all the way to 49. I don't know whether this was a particularly strong draft for goaltenders. Time will tell. And also in the immediate and now, let's face it, a goaltender that you're drafting today in 2016 probably isn't going to be a starter for your hockey club until 2023 or 24 at the earliest.
Right. Bob, how about the moves that didn't happen in terms of roster players? Let's touch on that.
Sure, absolutely. From an Oilers fan's perspective right now, there's probably some frustration that they haven't landed a defenseman. Now today, Peter Chiarelli said he felt that there was a little bit of movement on that front. That the
productive talks.
Right, but he said that maybe there was a little bit of easing in terms of the price and the return. Let's see what happens over the next 2 weeks. It's going to tell us a lot. Do you not agree with me, Jack? At some point, the Oilers will get at least one player capable of playing no lower than second pairing right shot defense. Do you envision that happening? I do.
If there's a deal to be had, that's the thing, is you need a partner. Now, there could be a free agent situation that arise. There could be a sign and trade. These are all speculations. But yeah, I do think the Oilers are going to add. If you had to gamble one way or the other, I'd say there's a better than 50-50 chance that Peter Chiarelli will be looking to add a guy who, on the Edmonton Oilers, can play top 4 minutes.
Really quickly, I know the free agent courting period has begun. How active do we foresee Edmonton being in the next week here?
I wouldn't say overly active. I think they've got one need. They're looking to address that need. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a free agent bonanza this year for the Edmonton Oilers. In terms of volume, Bob, there might be an impactful player that's added, but I don't necessarily expect the Oilers to go out and add a bunch.
I could foresee a scenario where the Oilers, target a guy like Milan Lucic and then move something from the left side to address an organizational need, potentially on right defense.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. As always, guys, thanks for all your help this weekend. One last time from Buffalo, Tom Gazzola signing off for Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels.